Hi, everybody. Today, I guess I could talk about dreams. Uh, in my life, dreams have been very important. A little history back when I was in maybe the fifth grade, I thought I wanted to be an inventor because I was very into, technical gadgets of the time. I thought CD players were awesome. I wanted a beeper and all that kind of stuff. Uh, VR just started to pop up on the scene, and I was really into that. But of course, back then it was super expensive, even in those primitive beginnings of VR. So there was no way I could get my hands on any of that stuff. But I was always very interested in technology. But I knew back then that I had a knack for English and for writing. So as I grew older, I turned that dream of being an inventor into being a writer because essentially being a writer is almost like being an inventor, which is self-explanatory. But by that I mean that when you write something, you're inventing a person, you're inventing a world, you're inventing challenges and adventure. Common things of a novel or writing fiction in that sense. Even when you're writing nonfiction, you're inventing things. You're inventing concepts. You're inventing connections between certain themes and certain ideas and facts and ponderings. You're inventing those concepts through words. So, I my dream of being an inventor transformed into a dream of being a successful writer. And so, as I grew older and I went through more stuff, that dream of being a writer stuck with me, and that propelled me into learning more about myself, learning more about the craft, and learning more about what it means in terms of dedication, in terms of personal fortitude, what it means in consistency, discipline, and all that stuff. So dreams are a great guide for life. Now, some philosophers of today or recent times would say that dreams are necessary. They're the they're the fruits of desire, and desire is ultimately bad because it's going to cause what you say. What do they say? It's going to cause a schism between appreciating where you are now in life at this moment, and that desire means that you're not satisfied, and if you're not satisfied, you won't be at peace. That's a condensed version of what I believe that their philosophy is. But we as humans, we as people, we're all humans, with us already. So, but we as people, desire is not the problem, because in my belief, we need something greater, and there is something greater, and that's the whole beauty of it. We could be flawed from the ground up. We could be flawed in all ways, but there's that love that created us. There's that wisdom and infinite wisdom that created us, that gave us life and gave us these dreams and these passions, that gave us that desire to experience the treasures of life, to experience the experiences of life, which are beautiful sometimes, and sometimes they're hellish. Yeah, sometimes they're very painful. Sometimes you're scared to death. Sometimes you don't feel anything. Sometimes you're numb. Sometimes you're just hopeless and you're just so angry and hateful. But there are times that we are at peace. Everybody's at peace sometimes, and there are times that our desires are realized, and we just experience this little slice of paradise, of confirmation, of actualization through our desires, and that's where dreams come in. Now, if you don't have a need for dreams and you're content where you are just at the moment, that's fine too. That's a part of everybody's life. If you can feel peace right now and you can feel content with being rich, with being poor, with being middle class, with being disabled, with being a drug addict, with being lonely, with being loved, having a family or not having a family. If you could feel at peace and content at that moment with all that in your life, whether it's good or bad or in the middle, then that's great. But dreams have a purpose for sharpening our beings in totality. So I'm not saying that you should be foolhardy or on unattentive to your needs and to the situation, and have caution and to have a good judgment. That's what I'm trying to say. To have good judgment. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have all those things when going about your dreams, but yeah, you should be crazy about your dreams sometimes, and you should also be patient with them too. So that's my thoughts. Thank you. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh yes, April 19th, 2025.